All right, welcome to an episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Lookout Podcast, episode 98, featuring my good friend Kevin Roach, who started in fire in 2000 and is still a current fire lookout and a physical education teacher. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, you bet. Thanks, man. Appreciate all you're doing as well.
Oh man, trying, man. Yeah, just trying to help share stories like yours. I mean, starting in 2000, how old were you?
He's 19, just turned 19.
Just turned 19. Dang, man. Yeah, that's a young buck. Fresh out of school. Oh, my screen turned sideways. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, you back on? Oh, now I just got your background.
Oh, someone's trying to call me is what the
Oh,
problem.
hey, no worries, man. We can still hear you. So, you wait, how old you said 18, 19 when you first came out?
I just turned 19 my rookie year.
Oh, nice. Where'd local district or where'd you start at?
I started at Moose Creek and I never left. So that was where I
Really?
stayed all 17 seasons, was just on the Type 2 crew there. And we had our engine, and then we also had a fire use module that we'd kind of rotate in and out with as well.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Man, you think about 17 years because I'm in the same boat, of like 17 plus years of primary fire. It's like, but there were seasonal times, So as you think about that's a career
Yeah.
already in fire that doesn't count, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that there's a way to get retirement for that and my teaching job. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm hopeful. It's just, yeah, I think about it once in a while now that we're getting up in our years. It's like, oh man, I mean, they're good times. I wouldn't change it, but now the kids are pretty fortunate, and I'm happy for them that they can get a perm, in their first or second season, which is, the way it should be. It's a hazardous job, you should get health care and all that good stuff with it.
yeah, I think so too. They're doing a better job of taking care of folks, and I think there's a long ways to go still, but it's getting better for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's one of the hopes I have with the wildfire agency they're talking about building. I know historically it always seems like when we consolidate anything in life it has its downsides, like HR going to Albuquerque was pretty rocky and still can be pretty tough, and it's it's not set up for good success having everyone away from a forest, I think. But benefits are, I think we'll all be under one umbrella for fire things, like they're talking the retirements and the better health checks for firefighters, like having a more standardized program like Structure Fire has, where they have this way more in-depth workup before the season, physical, where you get ECG, electrocardiogram, I think that's what it's called, to check your heart, full chest scan, check your skin, make sure nothing weird showing up, and do some blood work. Is one of the rumors I heard from the union. So that'd be nice.
That would be a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, man. And then Moose Creek, dude, was that where Tarzan was out of, or where was he out of?
Yeah, he was at Coolwater Lookout, and then he also spent, I think, one season at this lookout. It's not there anymore, but it's called Beargrass. Um, and then he had his little post out at Otter Butte and was a one and done season out there because of the 1934 fire. So yeah, he's just upriver there from Selway Falls was where all that happened.
Dang, cool, man. Yeah, he about got burned up in that one and then never returned, huh?
Well, yeah, and even the 1919 fire, he got burned over up at Coolwater, so he survived two pretty big firestorms. So
Man, incredible, dude. I never had to deal with one. I was always running away. you
I
know?
know, yeah, and it's a heck of a story to have two epic fires like that and have to run for it from both of them.
Yeah, nuts, dude. And he did a really good job of detailing his story, talking to John and what John was able to write down in that book. I mean, the details, especially the second one, I really remember him being in like that kind of wetlands area in the mud and just the heat getting him, on his back and stuff, and just trying to stay hunkered down to survive that wave. And I mean, he did it, but nuts. And then wasn't one of his legs on his lookout totally burned up?
Yeah, well, and just getting that lookout standing by himself, with using the jib pull and all the levers or the pulleys and getting everything upright. That's pretty amazing feat by yourself.
Yeah, without smashing himself, like it might find me under a log a week later when they finally resupplied me.
Yeah. Yeah. And a while back where Otter Creek comes into the Selway, there used to be like a hand rope trolley to get across the river with, you probably send some small supplies across that rope, and some of those wheels are still attached in those cedar trees. They've grown around them, around the
Oh,
cables, and they're still up in the trees, if you know where they're.
dude,
So I found
man.
I found those a while back when we had a fire in Otter Creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is cool, man. I love that stuff, dude. I just interviewed John the other day, and we were talking about Otter Butte Lookout, and his journey over that way. It's like, man, made me want to go up there and just stomp around just to see it, because he detailed so much. And talking to you, like sharing that story, it's like I can picture it, but I haven't been there on my own 2 feet, so I'd like to go check that out.
Yeah, it'd be a good place to go check out, and then even Highline Lakes too. I'd like to go see some of that country
Yeah.
because he
Where?
spent a little bit of time at that lookout as well.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. And that actually brings me to, I wasn't even planning on asking about this, but is it Wag Dodge or somebody's got like a memorial up there, or is there some kind of plaque up that way? I can't remember.
Um, there's one across the river. It's on a butte called Round Top. There's a helitack guy, I think in the late 70s or early 80s, uh, died up there. He got struck by a rotor, and
Oh,
so there's a memorial for them up there.
yeah, that's where I was getting my wires crossed. Dang, man. Yeah, 'cause
And
I
then
just knew there's a ton of history up that way.
yeah, and then at Moose Creek, there's a memorial for the DC-3 crash that happened, I think in '79. And that,
And I just
yeah, there's
that
a lot of good history back there to check out.
yeah, dude. That's the one with the jumpers, right? There was like a full load of jumpers on it that went down, and one guy survived. If that's the one I'm thinking of.
There was it was a lot of people there going back there for their like their orientation week back there for, learning crosscuts and all of that sort of stuff. And they were flying supplies and people back there when that happened. So
Oh man. It is that the same one that killed about everybody on board except for one dude?
I think two or three people survived in that
Oh, gotcha.
crash, and the jumpers came to the rescue. Though they jumped guys on both sides of the river to look for survivors and get them medical treatment and stuff. So
Oh man.
that was part of the deal too.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. The capabilities of the jumpers like that, jumping Quake Lake back in day two, and that real nasty quake happened by West Yellowstone.
Yeah, yeah. Kelsey and I swung through there this early summer when we got done with school. When we went over to Tough Fest in Bozeman, we came through Yellowstone and then came through there. So that was pretty cool
Dude.
to see that.
Yeah, were you able to see some of the houses that are still like sticking out of the water?
We didn't slow down for any of that. You can still see where some of the trees and stuff were sticking out, but yeah, that was I'd only seen that one other time, and it was just driving on the highway. We didn't even stop to look at it. So anyway,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've been doing the social media stuff for the NSA. So when the reunion for that or the memorial came up for that, terrible tragedy, I did a little more, and I'd already kind of researched it when I was jumping out of West because I'm just a history buff, so I was curious. But yeah, it's just amazing to go back and just reread the stories of like some missed calls, some really unfortunate deals. Like, one family was camping and the kids were in one tent, so they survived, but the parents were in the other and got smushed by a boulder. And then another family got like completely washed away. And when you walk through, or even when you drive through there, you see like that whole hillside sloughed off. I mean, you could just kind of imagine the carnage.
yeah, that was pretty wild thing to have that happen.
Yeah, I think on the one placard, I think it said because of how much earth got moved at one point, there was like it pushed all the oxygen out of the bottom of the valley. So like for a split second, there was no air at the bottom. And I don't know if
Oh,
that's true or not, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
just
Wouldn't
make
that be?
a big vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, just nuts, dude. But yeah, I just found out about one of the DC-3 crashes. I thought it was up in that country, up in the Selway area or Moose Creek area, and one of the guys I helped with the memorial on, he was on the rescue jump on that one. I thought they said, and it could be a different one that I'm pretty sure it's a different one than what you're talking about, but it was wild because it sounded like all the jumpers on board died, broken necks, like the brain stem. It kind of sounded like, and then one guy survived, beat to hell, and he hiked out. I think, which is nuts because he just assumed no one was coming. So,
Yeah, was that Wayne Williams that you're talking about?
oh, I bet he was there. No, I was talking to
He was one of the rescue ones for the um that DC-3 that crashed.
oh, really?
Yeah, because they'd come from McCall, landed in Grangeville, picked up people, and then or what I don't think there was any jumpers in Grangeville, so they got Missoula jumpers to come do the rescue.
Oh, gotcha. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's it. Yeah, it was kind of the same thing with the Quake Lake deal because there was somewhere else the plane in West, so they ended up getting Missoula jumpers to come jump it, which West is right there, but
Yeah.
you have the capabilities and you're stuck. Man, Wayne Williams, he's a wealth of knowledge. I've been meaning to reach out to him to get him on because it sounds like he's really well read about the smoke jumper history and has a ton of experience too.
Yeah, and he was on Storm King too, so
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, maybe I did, but I'll have to bug him on that because yeah, Storm King. I actually jumped with a few guys who were in that, and I didn't know it until later on in their career. Like Keith Icky Woods, he was my boss for a little while at the jump base, and he was on that wing that hiked out the different way from Storm King, and still got hit by some pretty nasty fire weather and had to deploy, but survived it. And Petrelli was there too in that group, I'm pretty sure, and probably Wayne Williams.
yeah. Yeah, this is the
Oh,
book on the crash on the Selway,
oh, gotcha.
and
Good read.
very good read. Yeah, I don't sit and read straight through very often, and I read this one in less than 3 days up at the tower this summer, so that was a good one. And Richard was at the Lookout conference this last year, and I bought it from him. He was there selling books, so that's cool to meet him. And then he did the Backcountry Aviation in Idaho book as well, so
Dude.
he's a wealth of knowledge. You should get him on the show one of these days too.
Yeah, I'd love to, man. Yeah, I'd love to talk to anybody who's got a history like that, especially someone who wrote a book.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's a good one. It's pretty detailed, and towards the end, it's a lot of the mechanic failures that happened and things like that. But he makes it even so a guy like I could understand it. So it's pretty good.
yeah, that's what I need too, man. Put in simple terms, like
Yeah,
it's tough when I gotta have the thesaurus next to me or a dictionary to try to like thumb through some stuff. I mean, you got your phone now, but back in the college days,
yeah,
um,
yeah. There's some big words in there, but I got her figured out for the most
yeah,
part. So.
yeah, the old $10 words, the big ones.
Mhm.
And then did you spend some time on the hot shots then?
No, I never did. Just with short seasons and always having to either go back to college or go into teaching. So I never had a gap in that. So
Yeah, same.
um, one one year I did work through September in 2015 and got a teaching job late that year in a different place, and so I almost worked a full season. Never did.
Yeah, no,
Came
man,
close.
yeah, you did good though, man. And Moose Creek, dude, what a place to be. Like I always kind of forget that because I don't know, just I'm always picturing Kuski whenever we're talking, in that area and Kamiah and stuff. So, man, like, to get to Moose Creek, you can't drive there, right? Can you?
No, you gotta. It's about a 26-mile hike from the end of the road there by Selway Falls, or you fly in or you ride a nag in there. So that's about your only options. Or you can
That's
float
awesome.
if you're lucky enough to dry a rafting permit, you can float down. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a long ways in there no matter which direction you come from.
dude, so much history, man. I mean, like, and it seems like every year I found out something new about the Moose Creek Ranger station. You know, of course, the first smoke jumper fire ever jumped out of there with Earl Cooley and was it man, blank other fellow's name. Do you know? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember where the other guy's name too, but yeah, up in Martin Creek, yeah, first.
Yeah,
So
pretty cool too, man. And when I was looking at the map, I think I was at the Magruder Ranger Station, you know, which is way up the West Fork. It's funny because you know Moose Creek's way up there, but they kind of triangulate to the first jump spot. You know, it's not that far from like the Magruder massacre site, even I think, if I'm remember my map right, my geography right.
yeah, there's
Super cool.
well, yeah, and just Wiley's Peak and some pretty cool stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. I got a hold of an old map, you know, and was able to print out a bigger copy for my office there at work, and to see just like the past lookouts on almost like all the high tops around the area, you know, it's cool to see how much coverage we had at one point as an agency, you know.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of places out there. Rufus Robinson was the other jumper.
Oh, you're the man. You got some assistance back there, don't you?
I had some help. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, Rufus. I knew something was an R, but I couldn't remember it. I kept thinking like Radcliffe. Yeah,
yeah.
he's tough as nails, dude.
The amount of lookouts that are old sites all the way up the Selway and all in the high country is pretty amazing. All the stuff that was packed in there and put together by some tough dudes. That's for sure.
Dude, 100%, man. Holy cow. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that history stuff. And what I love about that backcountry area, even today, not a lot of light pollution, like next to none. So when you get back in there on a fire, you kind of forget, you know, all of a sudden like sun's going down and if it's just a little tiny like two-manner and you're about to put it to bed and head back to the ranger station. Like we were helping out with Powell from Stevensville because they had no one left in the house. So we got way up kind of towards you went to Powell like at the top of the pass there, or not even the Powell, it was the top of the pass. Then we took an off road and ended up on some logging road heading south, you know, along the Bitterroots. And went out their ways and they had a couple local guys on it and we just assisted. And once we had it buttoned up, we started working our way out. And by the time we kind of got to a high point out of the hole where we were at the fire, the sun was pretty much down and it was like nuts how black it was, man. Like, and instantly, like light switch. I was like, this is amazing, you know?
Yeah, and the amount of stars that you can see from there too. Yeah, it's pretty awesome out there.
Dude, it's so cool, man. And I was just thinking with the Aurora Borealis going off the last few nights, I wish I was up in that country, you know?
I know it was even bright here in town, and with all the light, with the light pollution being in town and still being able to see it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I heard even like down in Illinois, like you had some friends that were seeing it there, and you know, Chicago's not too far out from them, so they barely see the stars and they could see it too. It's like
Yeah,
it's a heck of a show, man.
it was.
So yeah, and then so after 17 years, that was primary fire, then you went to lookout, or was there like a gap, or how'd you end up in the lookout, I guess?
I had a couple summers of not doing anything fire related, and then in 2020, I called one of the guys down at the ranger station, one of the new FM or AFMOs that I'd kind of become friends with, and he was in charge of lookouts. And I was like, "Hey, you got any slots open?" And he goes, "Yeah, actually, I do." So, got my application filled out and got hired, and been doing that since 2020. So,
Oh, awesome.
gonna hold on
Man.
to that one as long as I can.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Corral, Corral Hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a spot, man. And then you and your son were up hunting. That wasn't Corral Hill that you sent me a photo of, right? Like in the snow?
That was at Lookout Butte. That's one of ours. It's rental, so
Oh,
it's about 7 air miles straight across Clear Creek from where we're at Corral Hill. So, yeah, we
oh,
were
nice.
we were getting up there and seeing if there's any deer movement up there, but not a lot was happening that day. So, but
Oh,
it was
good.
still cool to get up there.
Dude, it looked awesome. Yeah, the photo was cool, man. You and your kid and snow on the lookout. Like, oh man, I love those photos, dude. Kind of
Yeah.
haunting, but cool, you know?
Yep, that was a good day up there.
Yeah, that was kind of early on in the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was second week in October, so that was opening weekend of rifle season when we were up there.
Yeah, man. And I think we were tickling 60 degrees here in Stevensville.
Yeah, it was almost 60 here in town today too. It's starting to try to storm right now, but we'll
Yeah, I
see.
was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you to hear on my end too. I'm, just park my Airstream next to my house as close as I could, so I get the router, and so the wind started to pick up, and I've kind of like a saddle up above me, and looks like it's calming down a little bit, but it was starting to look a little heinous. I'm like, well, see how that goes for the sound quality on this sucker.
Yeah, see how loud the rain is when it starts hitting the top of the
Yeah,
bumper.
that's for sure, man. Yeah, so far so good. We're holding out. Um, yeah, and did you ever have any like want to be a lookout when you first started, or is this kind of thing like, hey, I'll give this a shot?
I thought, maybe when I was retired from teaching, I guess I didn't have a very good exit strategy leaving fire, but um, anyway, you miss it, but then it's like, yeah, maybe should I have been done doing that earlier than I decided to, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good reset after a year of teaching and get some fun out in the woods, and then feel like you can go back and be a good teacher again too. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, actually, segue is great, man, because that's another reason why I want to talk to you today, or another part of what I want to talk to you about today was the program that you were just talking to me about a minute ago with the students, and just the stuff we talked about before, and I've seen with you getting the students out, getting active in the outdoors, and physically active too. But you were telling me a program that you got going on right now, though, right?
Yeah, I've been bringing up the idea of adding a outdoor rec and a kind of a forestry class elective for our kids at the middle school, and took a little bit, got the seed planted. It took, I think, 2 years to finally get it all set up and approved, and this is the second year that we've had it, and got some good people that are finding some grants for us to facilitate lots of good stuff, getting the kids some safety equipment and getting this time out in the woods, and yeah, we had good weather this fall. We had 3 field trips out to the U of I experimental forest, and we got kind of a good deal with that because it's really not that far from town. We're on a school bus for 20-25 minutes, and we're out in the forest, and just got a good partnership too with the U of I being just down the street for us. So it's no reason that we're not working with their College of Forestry and Natural Resources and making that happen for kids and showing them those cool jobs that are out there.
Yeah, man, and that sounds like a dream to me because I didn't really have the knowledge of that as a kid, and I think our generation too, being at least for me, I think you're kind of the same shoes. Like my dad was a carpenter, and my family was mostly kind of the labor field, so they wanted me to go to college no matter what and get something, that was steady paycheck, office benefits and stuff, and wasn't really thinking about the Forest Service line of work, So uh, I think I'm still in the Forest Service now, so I guess I made it work out, but I would have went for like forestry at U of M or at U of I instead of probably going the route I would have took if I could do that over.
Yeah, and they got that fire ecology degree kind of as I was finishing up and graduating, and that would have been available at the time I was going to school. That maybe I would have done things differently too, but it's all worked out where I get
Yeah,
the best of both worlds. So it's I guess I wouldn't trade it, but it would have been tempting for sure to have looked at that a little bit more, and it is nice to show kids some jobs that because not every kid's going to go to college, and it gives them a something to look forward to, and gets them a class that might keep kids a little bit more interested in school, or even keep them from dropping out later on if they can see like, hey, if I stick with this and I you know talk to this person, then I'll be able to get a job. And I mean, they can make a lot of money right out of the gate with some of these jobs, and they'll pay and get you trained, and especially with the fellow bunchers and processors, like it's it's kind of like a video game for being out in the woods. It's kind of cool. So
Absolutely, man. And yeah, you usually work with some good people, and get you outdoors. And I think it gives you a appreciation for the land a little bit more when you get some of that education at a young age. And I think that's where some of the places that are more remote, like we've been on fire. Um, like I was out in this one spot of Kentucky where it's just like it could have been beautiful woods, but it was like dumping ground for the locals because they just didn't have the same probably upbringing that I did, where it's like I valued the streams and the mountains and the trees and wildlife because we lived on wild game meat, so it's like I don't know, I just had different value for it, so I didn't want to abuse it as much. So I think if we can do like you're doing and start the kids off young, they're gonna think twice about even throwing trash out the window because they'll be like, oh, this is my happy place, like I don't want to hurt this, or this is where I make my money, like why would I
Yeah.
want to damage this?
Yeah, and we even, like the no trace camping principles, we even set up our own like school rules kind of based on that. That was one of the first projects I had the kids, talk about how they can make their school a better place and their town a better place, and it just grows from there too. So
Yeah,
it does make a big
100%.
difference.
Yeah, it does, man. I mean, yeah, even like the principle that they talk about nowadays, you're seeing more of these like motivational influencer types who are saying, like, get up and make your bed, Like I think that's one thing like Jocko was saying, like first thing, just make your bed, start off with a clean slate and it just, compounds after that. So then you value that space. Like if your bedroom's clean and your bed's clean, and then same with like your town and it spills over, and makes the whole world a little better spot by just doing some simple things.
Yep. Yeah, if everybody took a step in that direction, it'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So my hats off to you, man, with the draw for being indoors these days. I mean, the creature comforts are insane. I mean, even I was able to get a portable air conditioner for this thing, like so. I mean, it's real easy to stay inside these days. So being able to get the kids outside and get them, hooked early is huge.
Yeah, we even had all of our trips. We were rain free and just sunshine, and got to get some good pruning on the ponderosa pine and the Douglas fir that are coming up in that unit. And
Yeah.
nice, they got lots of work for us. So we got we got lots to do out there. And yeah, Rob Keefe is the guy who I've been working with, and there's one unit that when they get ready to plant, he wants to plant a big uh, eye of tamarack trees. So in the fall, it'll
Yeah,
just be one big eye for the U of I. Not sure,
dude.
not sure how many acres that'll take up, but I was like, that'd be awesome if you want some kids to be digging holes and help plant some trees, we can make that happen. So that's in the works.
Man, that'd look awesome, dude. Like flying over that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great idea. Got sorry about the Vandals the other night, man. Speaking of, we were watching the game together, kind of. You were
I
at the
know.
game, I was at
Yeah.
home.
That was pretty fun. It's a growing year. They're new coach and a lot of new players with the transfer portal and stuff, and that makes it hard. But
Yeah.
nah, we're they'll be. I think they're heading in the right direction, and got lots of good support from the community and the alumni, and seems to be a lot of good young men on that team. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. And I think I told you a long time ago when I was watching the Vandals actually beat the Grizz in Washington Grizzly Stadium a couple years back, and
yeah,
somehow I ended up surrounded by Vandals fans, like me and my family, and it was cool, man. They're all just like homegrown, local Idaho folks, and like one of their sons was big old lineman, and you could tell they just good folks, really, really cared about their kid and proud of him. I was like, it's really hard to root against you guys right now because, man, I'd love to hang with you guys and have some dinner and some coffee and talk shop more.
well, and that's same with Grizz fans. Like, yeah, it's better than Boise State, that's for sure. So yeah,
Oh, dude,
it's been
yeah.
fun to watch the Montana games this year too. They're cruising right along. That should be a pretty epic last game of the season against Montana State.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, like I mean, Montana State lost one, but I think it's pre-conference. Early on, probably gets some big school and
Yeah,
UM.
they're looking tough as always. So that's gonna be a good game, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Good program. And that's kind of the same thing, man. I mean, the Cats are our big rivals, and like there's so many kids though that I know, like either friends of family or parents, or like the one fella, can't remember his name right now, but he's from Dillon, Montana, which is right down the road from my folks, and just a good kid. And then of course, Tommy Malott being from Butte, Whitehall's right over by Butte, and got
Yeah,
some Butte buddies. So, I was proud to see him kick ass, even if it was against the Grizz, you know.
yeah, yeah. It's good too. Like you know, kind of scroll through Idaho's roster, and there's a lot more kids from Idaho and Eastern Washington area. I know a lot of kids from Spokane get recruited to play there, and even from the west side, but lots of Washington, Oregon, Idaho kids, and there's a sprinkling of kids from other states as well. But I guess close to half the rosters from the Northwest, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love seeing it, man. And I feel like you get a little bit more out of those local kids because that's like they're really proud. It's not a stepping stone. It's like most of them, that's their end goal is to play for like the Vandals or the Grizz or the Cats. So they make it and they give it their all because they know it's what they've been training their whole life for. And I mean, like our local guys, are like Chase Reynolds and Colt Anderson and some of the guys that have came that I played against or went to camp with or whatever. So I kind of knew them
Mhm.
growing up too. So, and that's pretty much how I picked between the Cat and the Grizz growing up because Whitehall's actually closer to Bozeman. But at the time as a kid, like more of my friends were getting picked up by the Grizz or trying to get recruited by the Grizz, and more Montans were getting recruited by the Grizz. Like the Cats didn't have very many back then, but now the Cats got a ton. Like they're doing a
Yeah,
lot more in-house recruiting. So I mean, I'm loyal to Grizz, but if something switches and somehow the Cats get more Montanans, man, I'm Montana. So like I'm going where my local,
yeah,
folks are.
yeah. It's fun to watch Big Sky football again and have Idaho
Yeah,
be a part of it again.
absolutely, man. The venues are so awesome, right? I mean, like of course, Washington Grizzlies like the biggest, and then, um, but then you got the Kiwi Dome, and then I heard it's something else now, but the where the Bengals play, it was called what the heck was it called? I can't remember what the heck it used to be called, but I think it's like Credit Union Park or something now. Have you been to the Pocatello ISU?
Oh yeah, the ICCU dome. It's been a
Yeah,
long time. My brother played for the state championship in high school there.
no,
Probably was the last time that I was down there. So I think I was a junior in college and they won the state championship there. So
dude, awesome.
that's a long drive from Kamei.
That's a cruise, man. But what a cool stadium, huh? What a cool stadium, huh? Was it all colorful seats when you were there?
Yeah, yeah, the seats are all the same. Like the seats in the Kibby Dome are still the original ones.
Really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
dude, I gotta get there. Yeah, they recently repainted the Bengals one because it made it more like school colors. But they used to be like red and blue and like all these colors because we ran track there in college. It was, dude, such a cool venue.
yeah. Did you probably never got a run in the Kibby Dome because it has an indoor track in it as well.
No, I never did. Yeah, I'm surprised because our coach is pretty good at recruiting us and throwing us in to pretty high level track meets. Like we went to the Air Force Academy in Colorado. I think it's Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
And there was giant D1 schools there. We're the only D2 school there. And it's funny because I was like warming up for long jump. And then, like these guys warm ups are just smashing my my PR. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a long day. And but they were so friendly, like, hey, we like having you D2 guys here because you're a lot friendlier. I'm like, well, like I said, I'm here to win, but I
yeah,
see it's not gonna happen. So I'll at least, be friendly to you guys.
yeah. And
There's
what
a
was the you
what's
just
that?
did long jump and what else in college?
Yeah, I went there just for long jump because I've got pretty good springs naturally. Like I could dunk and stuff. So and like pretty easy when I was younger. And so I was like, oh, let's go do that. And I thought maybe I could try to do some long or some high jump, but I could never quite get the form right. And but I was pretty fast, like field fast for football. So I ended up getting recruited for sprinting, and we didn't have any sprinters because they were just starting to build the program in MCB. So and it was kind of cool to be able to do more than one event because long jump's usually one of the first things. So get done with long jump, and I'd have a long day just hanging out, just
Yeah,
cheering on the
have,
team.
have nothing else going on.
Yeah, just walk around in my sweats. So
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do the rest. So in indoor, I ended up doing the 60-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and once in a while, I was the alternate for the long relay. And once in a while, I'd walk that thing in. I was in I was in ISU, and I just got done eating a bunch of food because I had no plans to run the long relay. And it's the last event in indoor, and I think outdoor too. And something happened to one of our 400 runners, so I got pulled up to run, and oh man, it about killed me.
Yeah,
Barely finished it.
400 is the hardest one to do, I think, for sure.
Oh, brutal, man. I came out of the gates pretty good, man. I was like, oh, all right, just on the heels of everybody. And it's 2 laps, an indoor because it's a 200-meter track, at least at ISU. And by that, lap and a half, man, the tank ran dry. I barely got it in. Oh, man. We
Yeah.
weren't going to win, so I didn't feel too bad. But I was just like, it was more embarrassing than anything because everyone's all like, got their sweats on by the time I came across the finish line. Like, oh. So, yeah, I'm just here to hang out and get another workout in.
Yep.
Man, your bro has been pretty good at football then. Did he go on to play anywhere?
No, he just came to U of I as well, uh, and he's been in fire as well, and he's FMO actually for Red River District there, just south of Moose Creek.
Oh, that's awesome. Holy. I feel like I just may have passed him or somebody that works for him. Maybe it was the AFMO. I was just recently talking to somebody at the end of the season before all the furlough stuff, and they're from the Red River area. And we were just talking. It was like real brief. I can't remember. It was at like UM or some event maybe I was at, and we were just talking about like how cool Red River District is and stuff going on there. Yeah, that phone's giving me trouble, huh, man?
I had to plug it in to get it.
Oh, it's about to die. Well, shoot, man.
We're good now.
I was saying, if you're about to die, you can let me go. But yeah, cool, man. That's got to be a great job at Red River, though, huh?
Yeah, there's some speaking of cool history, all the mining history that's there, and the Southern Nez Perce Trail going through there as well too, and that Magruder, the whole Magruder story, and
I was gonna ask, man. That's where he's heading, right?
yeah, plus you got all that wilderness area kind of button up against everything too. You got Gospels, you got Frank Church, and the Selway Bitterroot, like all kind of bordering you. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very history rich area as well.
Yeah, so cool. I gotta get back there because I was there in like 2020 or 2021 when there was a bunch of fires going all around Red River. Was that
Yeah,
21 or 20? Yeah.
I think it was
And
2021 when that fire at Dixie was going. That was probably the one.
that's the one, yeah. Because I ended up having to swap out one of the folks in the Bitterroot shots because he was off for like some kind of medical, and so when he was ready to go, then well, I just dropped him off. I didn't swap anybody, so I drove him up there, and that was the first time I'd ever been up that road. And it looked beautiful, but it was because that big fire was so socked in, I couldn't really see a whole lot. So I was like, I gotta get back up here, man.
Yeah, it's neat country in there as well.
Yeah. And then another thing on the sports line of things. Wait, did you have something else? I didn't want to cut you off there.
Well, I was gonna tell you too. Speaking of the Magruder massacre, there was a, I don't know if it had a way station there, but they had a stable and a place you could swap horses or get your horses fed and watered in a little hotel kind of between me and Pilot Knob Lookout called Mountain House, and the guys that had killed Magruder stayed there on their as they were making their run for it, heading to Lewiston and to head to Portland. So
Whoa.
yeah, they traveled right by my lookout. So yeah,
Dude.
as I read that book about that whole thing, yeah, they retraced their steps and came right back on the trail, right? I don't know why. I still don't know why they did that, because they
Yeah.
kind of set themselves up to get caught. But anyway, yeah, they came right through there.
Dude, yeah, man. That's cool though. They know that they came right by where you're at. Man,
Yeah,
weird night and see some ghosts coming back through that area.
yeah, I think there very well could be along that trail for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't the only incident. That was just probably the biggest one.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I'm sure there was a few people that disappeared along trailing along that road.
Yeah, just too much money, going back and forth from like those mining towns, especially like Bannock to the Mercantile, like Magruder was running, and weird things, right? Like, because I don't know if you read into this, but talking to Emily, who was on the podcast to talk about the massacre, like she had said, and a few other folks were like, they're camped in kind of a weird spot, like no water really close by, and you have 60 mules, like you're going to be by a water source, like it's a
Yeah.
lot of things are kind of adding up weird, and then I heard that he also, I thought I heard that everything got recovered, but someone said that there was some gold that didn't get recovered, so there's been some folks looking for that. Had you heard that?
Yeah, the legend that I've heard is or one of the legends was that there's some caves farther, I guess they're downriver from Magruder and from Paradise, and Elevator Mountain. And the one of the legends was that they hid the gold in there with all the rattlesnakes, but
Oh,
I'm pretty sure people have tried to look for it and came up empty. So it's hard to say. Maybe it's still out there.
yeah, it's kind of like the plumber's gold. Did you ever hear about that one over in Bannock?
No, what happened there?
He was a sheriff of Bannock, and then he had his own mining claims, and all his big like the folks that were they're hitting some good veins and getting a lot of gold out were shipping their stuff out, and their carriages were getting robbed on the way to the bank or wherever it was going, um, and all the signs just started pointing towards Plummer, that he was the I think it was Henry Plummer was the happened to be like not around when these robberies were happening or something. So vigilante justice, I think, took place, and I think they hung him in town, and without getting the whereabouts of where all this gold went. I guess it was a lot, and no one ever, it's never been recovered. And kind of same thing, like stashed in the lake, maybe in his mine, but no one ever knew, or his mining claim.
Yeah.
I like to think it's still out there, but just for my adventure someday. But God, man, like we've been in fire quite a long time, like 17 years, and we're in the woods all the time too, right? So like our whole lives being in the woods, and a good chunk of it digging in the ground, for fire line trench. It's like, man, we've scoured every bit of this, and I don't think someone would be quiet if they stumbled over a bunch of gold buried somewhere, or even like find a nugget. I'm always thinking about that. I'm like, why haven't I ever heard, or why haven't I found a nugget digging fire lines somewhere?
Yeah, or crossing a creek somewhere. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, the only found some handful of deer and elk horns and a lot of Mount St. Helens ash. Yeah, like when I first started working, you'd dig through that, top layer of the cedar duff, and then you'd hit the layer of the Mount St. Helens ash still even. So that was kind
No.
of cool.
Dude, that's really cool, man. I mean, I heard it made it all over this way. Like my great grandpa had a bunch of ash on his truck, but man, that's quite a bit though. If you can notice it when you're digging down.
Yeah, some places. I mean, there's like an inch on the ground probably, I bet, at one time, and who knows how much of that washed off with precipitation or whatever. But yeah, the cedar duff did a good job of preserving some pockets of that.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. Sandwich it in there is one of the layers. We had a big runoff because that's another thing cool about being the foresters. We're weather people, so we get to see where it's coming from. And we had some weird cells this spring come up the East Fork of the Bitterroot, and just like man, just like puke out a bunch of moisture on one little spot. So we had all these big mudslides from previous fires, and like gully washers, and wash the road out. So I was tasked to go up there and just check out the road and see if it's passable because hunting season was coming. Want to make sure that people get back in there, especially the guides and or the outfitters. And I was up there. I was like, I could make it through. It would have been kind of rough with a stock trailer, but I was like snooping around, flipping things over. I'm like, hey, you think there'd be some gold in here or something, But I
Yeah,
didn't see anything.
uncover a big layer that no one had dug down to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. So yeah, I try to go back in there a little bit further and dig down a little bit and poking around the road, even where it might get like held up, and kind of dig underneath. And yeah, no luck. Maybe I'm just looking the wrong spots, but I just feel like there's been a lot of human traffic on the landscape since the beginning of time. So uh, I feel like it's gonna be real hard to find any of those kind of treasures. But I'm not giving up hope. I still have hope one day to find even just a tiny little nugget. I'd be happy.
Yeah, that'd be worth your while then. Yeah, especially with the price of gold now.
Yeah, or even like stumble across McGruder's. Um, I won't keep you too much longer, man. But I want to talk about like fitness a little bit with you since it's been something that's pretty active in both our lives, and me and you kind of share that in common. Um, are you still doing like the was it Mountain Tough challenges and stuff?
Yeah, Kelsey and I actually went over for Tough Fest. That's kind of how we ended up in and Yellowstone and coming through Quake Lake. We came through West Yellowstone and on our way back, and uh, that was that was pretty good experience. Pushed limits a little bit. A couple of the guys that I got paired up with were in a team of three, and I was almost old enough to be their dad. So
Dude.
we're yeah, those young bucks they pushed me through it, but it was nice because they were competitive enough, but realistic enough at the same time. Like just kind of had a huddle, and we had a goal of all right, let's finish and no one get hurt, and don't be last. And nobody got hurt, and we were like 35 out of 80 teams, so we did okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We
better than half, man.
we held our own. Yeah, the morning ruck, the warm up, that was something else because we went uh, hiked up around the M there in Bozeman, and the way it was written kind of made it seem like you were just going to the M. Well, that was like maybe halfway. It was 1,800 feet with I had 60 pounds in my ruck pack, and then back down. That's a pretty steep trail on the old knees, but yeah, that was our warm up. We
Yeah,
left the parking lot in the dark at 5 in the morning, and then our flight was or our group's workout time wasn't till later, so it was nice to go back and take a nap and eat some good food and then reload and get ready for the workout. And that was fun. And yeah, just the daily stuff that Mountain Tough has on there is pretty awesome. They've got everything from their daily workouts to they've got mental toughness training. They've got a daily prayer that they have on there every day, which is a nice way to start the day every day. And
dude.
uh, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a good chill group of people to hang out with, and lots of dogs. So it was awesome.
ah, so cool. A lot of people bringing dogs.
Oh yeah, we had Finn there, and then he wasn't alone. So there was lots of dogs there. It was just good people to hang out with. Lots of kids there supporting their mom or dad in it, and they had a kids workout, and our girls want to go to it next year. So we'll see if how we can finagle that, but
Yeah,
might be fun to hit that one again.
absolutely, man. And goal, right? Like to go back and perform a little better than last year. And man,
Yeah,
what a community.
do a little bit better, and yeah, it's just nice to be there and everyone's supporting everybody else. And I don't
Yeah,
think there's a lot of damn strong and capable people there, and not a lot of ego, which is kind of cool to see. So a lot
very
of people
cool,
just
man.
helping each other out, and there's people finishing and then they're going back and running with the people who are you know that they're just racing against, and they're going back and picking up everybody and helping them get to the finish line, and it was good stuff.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man. I think people need more of it, including myself. Like community's big, and one of the things we were talking about in school, I'm a health and human performance major, so we are talking about longevity was one of the things we touched on, and there's these blue zones right around the whole world, and they're like the super agers and the super healthy people, and one of them's in California. And it's kind of in a weird spot because I don't think it's too far outside of LA, and they're trying to figure out the common factors of these blue zones and why they're so healthy and just like positive and being living so long. And it was community was the biggest like one of the biggest pillars, and I think faith too. So I think it's super cool, man. Like start off with a prayer, and you shared a few of the really good stuff too that they show, especially on Sundays, which is always nice to pop on Instagram and see your
Yeah,
post, man.
yeah, and it's kind of cool to see a lot of you know the the people or the companies that I've kind of naturally gravitated to, whether it was, Mountain Tough. And then you look at Mountain Ops, and they're a faith-based organization as well. And it's just kind of cool to see a lot of these guys. Feel like I'm a walking advertisement right now, but like there's a guy that was just on the Mountain Tough podcast that does Born Primitive. They've got hunting stuff, they've got performance like workout clothes and other stuff, and they're pretty big on faith as well, and veteran owned too. So there's just lots of good stuff happening. Like they teamed up with Black Rifle Coffee, and they raised $25 million last week to help veterans with medical debt. So, it's just good stories all the time of things like that. You can scroll and find plenty of bad things out there, but there's people that are doing some pretty cool things as well. So
yeah, absolutely, man. And making that choice in yourself, right? Like we make, and I think other people should make too, is like, yeah, the garbage is there. Stay away from it. Like, at least in my opinion, like I don't click on it. I'd rather see stuff like that, or even like the stuff Tim Tebow puts out. And like, one of my favorite Thanksgiving ads of all time is from the Shields Sporting Goods. Are you familiar with Shields? They're in Missoula.
Yeah, we went. They had the Mountain Tough like social hour the day before the event was at the store there in Bozeman. That was a pretty cool place to go into.
Yeah, great store, man. And they're all about family and the outdoors and faith. And that was like their ad was like, about like God and having dinner together at the gathering. It's such pillar. I mean, I think that's what humans, what we might, if you're having struggles, I think you might be missing the community, the faith, and just the gathering, and also I think we're designed to help each other, right? Like I think that's how we all have survived this long on this planet, right? From the beginning. And
Yeah.
if the older we get and the more research they do, there's all these like cataclysms that have happened, and somehow we've survived. And the somehow is because we came together, like we were able to do it together, because you couldn't do it alone, even as a small family. Like the old saying, it takes a village to raise a family. And especially like, my ancestry being back to the Nez Perce, I do a little research on how they were raising their kids and stuff. And yeah, it takes everybody, man. And you feel better when you're helping people. So I think it's a great place to put your attention, like in life, especially as you get older and you maybe aren't doing as much like sports wise, like at our age. I'm almost 40. So I do a little beer league and hockey in the weekday, and then now I'm starting to focus on the kids sports, so trying to get them involved.
Yeah, we got this book too. You've probably seen him. I think I've sent you some of his reels.
Yeah.
He's got kind of a good native way of looking at health and spirituality. And Kelsey's read it. I've read a lot of excerpts from it, but it's a really good book as well.
I got to check it out. I think I cut you off. What was his name again?
Josh Collins.
Josh Collins. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. I'll have to pick up the book, man. Hey, how we doing, buddy?
Yeah, Fen needed to say hi too.
Yeah, hey, buddy. Oh, it's good to have a doggo on the podcast. Well, shoot, I won't keep you too much longer, man. I mean, it's probably about time for dinner for you, huh? Or you already eat it?
Not quite yet. About ready to fire the grill up, though.
Oh, perfect. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. Tell Kelsey thanks for supporting us too.
Yeah, looking up the facts that we can't remember.
Oh man, my brain's so flat right now, so that's huge. Well, thanks again, man. Yeah, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
All righty, you too.
All right, see you, brother.
See ya.